mention one more example. A person who is probably even more famous than Muhyiddin ibn Arabi. Unfortunately, he's quoted very frequently by even some of the followers of the Ahlul Bayt, by ignorant Shias who don't know any better, and people who have received their version of this person's literature in a very polished manner, with hundreds of filters to make it look nice and presentable. They haven't really done any research, they haven't looked into him, they haven't looked into his ideas. And so they see something that sounds nice, that's attributed to this person, they take it, they put it out there on social media. It's very unfortunate, brothers and sisters. We should be much more discerning than that. We should be much more cautious than that. We should be much more careful to use the litmus test that's given to us by the Ahlul Bayt before we jump to conclusions. This person's name is Jalaluddin Rumi, the famous poet, right? In book number 6 of his Masnavi collection of poetry, he has a long poem in which he basically says, I don't want to use the actual words that he uses, because it's so hard, so difficult for a true believer, for a Shia, to even read those lines of poetry, which are filled with insults against God himself. He says that when Abu Talib was on his deathbed, the Prophet came to him and he said to him, my uncle, you've done so much for me. You've been my guardian, you've been my protector, you've been my helper. And now I ask you to give the testimony of faith, to acknowledge belief in God, to become a Muslim, so that I could have something to defend you with on the Day of Judgment. So that when I try to intercede for you, I can say to God, well, he was a Muslim. But until you become a Muslim, I can't intercede for you. But Abu Talib's heart, Rumi says, was so dark, and he was filled with such arrogance that he refused to become a Muslim until he died. And then Rumi uses a term in reference to Abu Talib, which is like stabbing knives into my heart. He used the term khabis. He called Abu Talib a wicked man, which tells you who the real khabis is, brothers and sisters. The Ahlul Bayt gave us this litmus test. Subhanallah. You reject Abu Talib knowingly. I mean, they say that Rumi was a arif. He was an oracle of Arfan and source of gnosis and knowledge of the divine. And this is his understanding? This is his gnosis? Ibn Arabi is the same?